I'll protect you no matter what. That line crosses my mind, but of course I can never bring myself to say it. I'll do what I can to help. As if it were all nothing more than a daydream, she steps towards me, and the world starts spinning again. I'm not sure what I'll do, but I'd appreciate it if you could come over. Even if it's only as a favor. Don't worry about it. Besides, I always owe you favors, don't I? Aw, man. I mentally whine about the weather as my feet kick at a frozen dirt. Nothing happened, nothing at all. I talked to a friend about schoolwork and she invited me to come over and to study and thump. Why? Why her? Why not her? Ouch! A bruise materializes on one of my knuckles after I punch the bench. Unsurprisingly, screw it. This is a waste of time. I tried to push myself off the bench, but leaving already? That voice. I should be surprised, but somehow it feels like the most natural thing in the world. Myra, what are you doing here? I could ask the same of you, but I won't, so let's drop the subject. Her smile is a few times more soothing than a punch to the bench. Actually, now that she's here, maybe I can get some information out of her. You know, Myra, I forgot to ask. It's a nice evening, don't you think? The weather, again. I guess I can't deny that. I'm glad you agree. Shall we go for a walk? Well played, Myra. You're good at changing the subject. But you're not teleporting out of here this time. So have you read any good books lately? I wonder why she doesn't seem this cheerful when we first met. Sorry to change the subject, but are we lost? We ended up wandering around this park after we left, but the trees seem to have closed around us. Now that you mention it, you've got to be kidding me. So, have you read any good books lately? You've got to be kidding me. Kidding? You mean you didn't like anything that came out last month? She can't be that dense, can she? I'm not really into modern literature. Ah, so you prefer the classics then? She beams at me innocently. I almost let out a sigh. No, I meant I'm not into reading in general. No, I meant I'm not into reading in general. I did that again, darn it. Sorry, that's 6 times, isn't it? What about movies? Movies work too. Well, let's see, there was that horror movie with zombies. What was it called again? That's not very specific. Oh, I saw the one with the Spartans. That was pretty cool. She lifts her foot as to kick me into the abyss. Well, if you ever get bored, you could borrow books or a few movies from me anytime. My father pretty much has an entire library in our basement. Oh, that's right. So you're interested. More importantly, your father. Huh? You're interested in my father? No, not that. I mean your father. Who is he? She looks a little uncomfortable. Well, I suppose I'm partly to blame for that. Are you stalking me, Mark? Pot, meat, kettle. Okay, wait, let me start over. What I'm getting at is, what's your family like? Is that really the kind of question you need to think about? Or what kind of house do you live in? Where do you live, for that matter? Do you have any siblings, then? What school do you have to go to? Mark, why do you want to know all this? This time I sigh audibly. Okay, time for plan B. Well then, let me just tell you outright. I have virtually no idea who you are, and yet you seem to know me pretty well. Isn't that odd? I guess. Then let me put it this way. I figured that in order for us to continue seeing each other and for me to help you, I should try and get to know you better. It would make it easier for you to find what you're searching for. For us to regain our lost time is what I was thinking, but... Oh, I see, sorry, it's just that I was warned by my parents to be wary of strangers. Strangers? If we're strangers, then how do you know my name before we met? Jackpot. I wonder. Or not. That'll be my little secret. One of many. By the way, you live with your sister, right? Linn? Yeah, I've been taking care of her because our parents spend a lot of time at work. Although sometimes it seems to be the other way around. Sometimes you spend a lot of time at work. You know what I mean. I'm kidding. And hey, it must be nice to have such a caring sibling. I smirk as I remember the plethora of threats and special attacks she's come up with over the years. It's not as nice as you'd think. Sure, she can cook and do household chores, but when you have time to explain to your teacher why your sister showed up in class yelling, "Look, Oni-chan, my friend taught me how to do the God finger," it can be quite the hassle. Maybe she's talking about Shining Finger or Burning Finger from Gundam, from one of the Gundam series. It's been a long time since I've watched that. Myra chuckles at my misery. Well, I guess it's pretty funny in retrospect. Still, she cares about you. You should be happy. That smile is almost enough to make me forget about my original mission. Almost. But why do you say that? Are you an only child, Myra? Sort of, I guess. Do you know what a yes or no question is? Well, it's a complicated situation. Ah, I see. How so? I wonder when she'll realize that I'm more patient with her than her. Ah. Well, you see, my family isn't quite an ordinary family. We're different. Not so different that we're not ordinary, no. No, I don't. To put it simply, it's like walking home from school having to decide between going to your small two-bedroom apartment where your parents treat you kindly or your uncle's mansion filled with books and electronics and everything else except that you'd be all by yourself. Kind of like, except different because you don't, your parents... Kind of like that, except different because I don't really have an uncle and my parents don't live in a two-bedroom apartment. That's what you call putting it simply. So basically, I try to summarize our story so far. I realize I haven't learned a single thing other than where to go for free books. If confused? Don't worry, a lot of people have trouble understanding me at first. I wonder whose fault that is. There's no rush though. We've got our whole lives ahead of us. She teases a smile at me and I admit defeat. But if I ever want to talk to you, what should I do? I mean, walking all the way to school at night is kinda impractical. Do you have a cell phone or anything? Don't worry about it. Contacting you will be my job. It's what I do best. Stalking me is what you do best? Don't make it sound like a crime. I won't even bother. But really, is there anything that you want from me? Our eyes met, and I see something. I was mistaken the other night. This girl isn't angelic or ghostly at all. She's very, very human. I don't want anything specific from you, or anything tangible. I'm just happy that we can finally be together. But is there anything that you wish for? Maybe. She bites her tongue, pondering as if choosing the course of her life. All I really want is for things to stay the way they are. I'm happy. If that's the case, I'll do my best to help you fulfill your wish. I promise. Thank you. It was nice talking to you, Mark. It was a pleasure indeed. Mind giving me a little warning before you show up next time? Just leave it to me. Ring, ring. Ah, sorry, this might be important. I reach into my pocket and look down at the display. A squirrel darts up at the tree in the corner of my eye. It's from Linn. You're probably wondering where I am. Hey, Myra? I know what to expect before I look up. In that case, you'd better keep your promise. Find me, okay? You'd better find me. I make my declaration to a backdrop of snow-covered trees. The twilight sky slowly fades. It's gotten really late. Really fast. I'm walking towards the subway station where I agreed to meet up with Linn and Lucas, but everything keeps looping through my mind. Myra. I don't trust her. I can't. I shouldn't. But considering how things turned out, I should be happy. I still don't know where she's from, or how she knows me, or, well, I really don't know anything. I don't know anything, but she's less of a mystery. Maybe meeting her wasn't such a bad coincidence after all. Maybe. You know what? I'm going to end it with day 3. And I'm liking the story so far. You at times get to choose. You know, you get to make choices. And I like the story. I like the artwork. I actually, to be quite honest, I like the artwork with the characters and their own individual personalities. It's actually pretty cool. So I hope you guys enjoy the series. I hope the other videos before the recent ones aren't so loud that you can't even hear me. So I apologize for not remembering to turn the volume down when I decided to do this. But anyways, I am Charjr Ryuki, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.